G'day and welcome back to RC Model Reviews. The bench is a complete mess. It's never been this bad before because I've been doing so many builds. The weather has started to change. We're now into autumn here, which is fall if you live in America. And it's getting cold in the mornings. It was 6 degrees this morning and the days are getting really short. So I've got very limited time left to get as many of these build reviews and builds and test flights as I can before it really turns to crap. The cyclone came and went, bit of nothing really, didn't really affect us here, but I have been really busy. And of course, this video I'm going to be talking about this. It's the Mini Mamba version 2. Now I've already reviewed the version 1 and I liked it a lot. The flying characteristics were really nice quad to fly. So the guys, well, Quadrysteria sent me the version 2 and I've got to say, it's been dramatically improved in quite a few areas. Some of the comments I made, they've obviously taken on board and made some changes, and so here it is. It's version 2. Now I didn't follow the build instructions precisely because, as I mentioned, one of the things about a quad like this is it's really sort of a machine you can innovate with. You can do your own thing, you can change stuff. You're not really bound to do or build it in the way that the manufacturer suggests. So I made some changes to this one. They're not going to affect the flight handling or anything, but they just made it a bit easier for me to build. And I think it made it a bit sleeker. It's got nothing on top. The top is absolutely bare apart from the Mobius platform. And you notice the Mobius platform, if I just swing this around, is at an angle because the Mobius platform came with 2 of these rubber cushions and I had 2 smaller ones which I put at the back. So the Mobius camera is automatically at an angle. Also the little camera underneath, I've used a cased camera and I put that at an angle as well. It's a cased version of the 600 TV line Sony Superhead 2. So it's a camera that I'll be looking at along with some others in a review coming up shortly. I've got some 12 amp ESCs which I've flashed to BL Heli. I've got the Naze 32 controller board in there. I've got the 200 milliwatt 5.8 gigahertz video transmitter at the back. I haven't had time to make a cloverleaf antenna yet, so I'm going to test it with the standard sleeve dipole. So, you know, I mean, these things still work. I mean, they're not really very good, but they still work enough to get a test done because I really have to get these tests out as quickly as possible. There's the battery tray underneath, which is quite good. Unfortunately, it'll only accept 3-cell batteries with standard length spaces, which is a shame because this is something that really cries out to be run on 4 cells. I'm using 5/4 props at the moment, but I will also be testing it with 6/4 props because these are the little Sunny Sky 2204 motors. They'll spin a 6/4 on 3 cells, no problems at all. And that's probably about it. I'll give you a bit of a tour on the bench so you can see more close up what this thing looks like. And here you have it up close and personal. As you can see, carbon fibre, all the normal stuff for a racing mini quad these days. And effectively 3-layer construction. I mean, I've got all my ESCs mounted vertically. I've got them on their side in here because that actually gives me more room in the middle to play with. Now, Quadrysteria have a little mount up here where your Naze board sits on top and a perspex cover. I thought, yeah, why bother? I've slung mine, hung it down. As you can see, it's up here the right way, but I've dropped it down on these spaces so it's hung from the top rather than the bottom. I just thought I'd try that out. I think it'll work just fine. As I say, up front I've got this cased camera and it's hung from the top plate and angled up a little bit too much at the moment. I'll angle it down. It can be adjusted quite easily because those mounts are not very tight, so there you go, that's a bit more of an acceptable angle. As I mentioned before, there's the Mobius platform with the 2 different size rubber bungs. You only get that size. I just had some of these laying around, so I thought I'd put them in there. Construction is nylon or plastic spaces here and here. It's got the clamp system because it has these tubular arms, as you saw in the version 1, tubular arms. The clamping system is much better. On my version 1 I had to put heat shrink on because it didn't quite fit properly, but now there's O-rings inside these clamps. They've got nylon bolts which I'm sure won't break easily, but I think you get spares in the kit if they do, which is great. And of course the beauty of tubular arms is you can actually rotate these arms if you want to give yourself some angle on the props. Now I'm not going to do that initially, I'm just going to fly it with the props at 0, 0, but I will try a bit of angle later on and see how that works. Not much else really to look at. Got landing feet with little screws in the bottom to give you nylon to land on so you can skid along smooth surfaces, I suppose, if you want to. I've got the D4R2 receiver with the usual cable tie antennas here. Nothing really to talk about in that respect. Yes, I will put lock nuts on the Sunny Sky so I don't lose the props, but there we go. So yeah, not a lot to see. I think it's about time we took this thing out. Oh, actually first, before we do that, let's see how much it weighs. Here we go, our scales are zeroed in. Here it is. Everything but the Mobius and the battery comes to 437 grams. That's actually pretty light. That's not a bad quad, especially when you consider that it is actually a bit bigger than your smaller mini quads, your Blackouts and your ZMR250. And I'll do a comparison. I've got some other mini quads laying around here. Let's just compare it to some of my others. All right, let's take this off. And here is ZMR250 with the thug frame arms. Again, same thing, all ready to go, except, oops, scales turn themselves off sometimes. Here we go, here we go. So ZMR250 with the thug frame arms and the same setup pretty much, just waiting for a battery and a Mobius. And that's only 390 grams. So the version 2 Mini Mamba is heavier than that, obviously. So say 390 grams, 40 grams heavier, 47 grams, 40 or so grams heavier. And here is, of course, the MXP230 Elite. Let's see what that comes to. That's 409. So yeah, the Mini Mamba is a bit heavier than the others, but I mean, if you look at it, it is actually also quite a bit bigger in many respects. Now you can, the guy from Quadrysteria, Ron, has actually put a video on YouTube showing how you can turn this into a proper 250 class mini quad by sliding the motors down the arms. You can't do that with any of the others. It means you can change it on the day, so you can race in the open class or in the 250 class. That's quite cool. I like that. But I think the bottom line now is we've got to take this thing out, don't we? Give it a thrash. First of all, we'll see if it flies any good, and maybe we'll even get to see if it brakes easily. Let's go and do that now. Arm cutting.
Arm cutting.
Oh well, no, that flies quite. It's very easy to fly. Very easy to fly. It's something that would, as you say, yeah, for a beginner, be great. But yeah, I'll crank the things over so I don't have to bank it up. So it's normally flying like that, is it?
It's flying like that, and not full noise. As soon as you went on full noise, it went right up like this.
Yeah, and went slower.
And it slowed down. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So there we have it. That was the Mini Mamba version 2. That was the first flight FPV. The antenna that came with the FPV transmitter was crook. That seemed to be the problem, but we sorted that. And Gordon made the observation that it goes faster at part throttle than at full throttle, because once you angle it up a lot, there's obviously more drag coming in. So next, I'll do a part 2 to this review. I'll angle the props and we'll see if that makes it go faster without having to have too much bank on. So there you go, another review from RC Model Reviews. Comments, questions on the bottom of this review, and if you have any particular things you want to see in part 2, let me know there as well. So in the meantime, it's time to get home.